All right, good morning. How's everyone doing today? If you're doing anything like I am and I'm having not so great hair day. Um, First of all, I'm getting bored with my colors. I've had them for a while, and if anybody that's watching knows me, they know how true this is. And it just kind of keeps flopping in my face. So I put on a headband, which is really unusual, and then it's kind of popping up in the bad. So I'm having a bad hair day. How many of you can relate? We're stuck at home. But it's okay because I'm not going anywhere. No one's going to see me except my child, and she don't care what I look like. And so, therefore, it's going to inspire today's art project. And it's called Bad Hair Day. So we're going to celebrate the bad hair, and we don't really care what it looks like. So the point of today's project is to take whatever your hair looks like, even if you're not having a bad hair day. If you are so lucky as to have a great hair day today, congratulations to you. I'm happy for you. But we're going to accentuate the negative, and we're just going to let it fly and turn it into something even more silly in our drawing. And what you're going to do today is create a simple self-portrait. Again, depending on the age of the child, the student, and parents, if you want to get involved with this one and just get a little drawing done and accentuate your bad hair day, join in. So the older students are going to be able to do a little bit more with the facial structure and getting the proportions of the face right. But that's not the whole goal of the portrait. The whole goal is to then do something silly with the hair. So let me show you a finished one that I've shown to my students, because this is a fun project that I've done with the kids in the past, combining the elements of the portrait drawing and then working on the hair as well. So naturally I've done this on a large sheet of paper, one that we may or may not have at the house. If you have one at the house, you're going to have a lot more room to do the hair element. I don't have any of my large paper sitting here at the house. So the next time I go to the school, I might pick some up. I might not, because a lot of you guys probably don't have any big paper sitting at the house. So I'm just going to keep drawing like you guys are. But this is the one that I show the students, and I do give them large paper to draw with at the school. So if you've got some big paper, feel free to do this on a larger sheet. You're going to have a lot more room to have more fun with the hair. And you can see what I've done is I've created my self-portrait in the middle. That is me. And I did have some much longer, redder, blonder hair. And I just took the hair, and while it would normally just sit around and frame my face, I went wild with almost this Medusa-like hairdo in the end. And so the purpose is to then, of course, have the hair take up most of your background. That is what it is going to become. It's going to become mostly your background, and in any way they want to do this. So children that have more curly hair, they're going to want to have fun and accentuate that. Children that have hair where maybe it stands up more, because mine normally does. I do try and wear it more in a mohawk, but I didn't want to be sitting around in all that hairspray while I'm just sitting off of work. So I showed them how I would make mine maybe stand up more on my paper. Kids that have shorter hair, some of them try to figure out, well, how am I going to accentuate that? And I remind them that, now mine is very short on the sides, but you can still have fun because it's about, kind of expanding and using your imagination and exaggerating. So we talk about what that word means, what it means to exaggerate and to elaborate the truth. So, just because you have short hair, guys, doesn't mean you can't have fun with this project and just create something that truly isn't there. So obviously, if you have some short or small paper, now I got the word short stuck in my head. If you want to draw with a pencil first, that is great. You can see I did this project in crayon. It gave my kids a lot more options for coloring, especially when it came to the hair color, when it came to the color of our faces, our skin tones. If you've got a bigger pack of crayons at home, you might have more success. But if you don't, if you've got a smaller pack of crayons at home, then you can just sit and mix colors. That's not a big deal. And give yourself more options. So we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But for now, all you need is just your paper and your pencil. You're going to want to use your pencil to kind of get your face right. So I start by just trying to get my face in the center. I don't want it too big. Normally I would ask my students to make it big, but our hair is going to be kind of the main topic of this drawing, so we can have fun with it. And for really, really little ones, like one's my daughter's age, she's in 1st grade, we describe the head as more of an oval shape. I start trying to get them to get that egg shape, but some of them still have trouble with it. As they get older into 2nd, 3rd grade, we start trying to get more of that facial shape, where it's wider at the top, smaller at the bottom. And then, of course, we'll get our neck in there and our shoulders. And I'm just sketching this fast for you guys today, so I don't even know what I'm going to look like when I'm done. So basic head shape. And if you want to draw all the little guidelines, this is something I try and show the kids how to do so they can start getting proportions. My little ones don't do this as much. In kindergarten and 1st, it can be quite confusing for them. So for the real little guys, I kind of skip that. And we just talk about how our eyes are halfway down our head. They're not on our forehead, and our nose goes in the middle. So just talking in those basic terms really helps my friends. We don't want to put our eyes up here, guys. That's not where they are. And our hair starts down here on our forehead. So just talking in basic terms really helps them. And then we look at our eyes and we talk about how they're not really round like circles. They are shaped like footballs because I'm able to open and close my eyes with me doing that. And that's because I have eyelids, and that creates that football or almond shape in my eye. The round part that you see is the colored part of your eye. So I'm going to, on my center line, create an almond shape. One on each side, very important. And then you'll kind of fill in your round part. I have a feeling this is not going to look exactly like me today. I'm drawing rather fast. And then, of course, your pupil. And I tell them if I'm going to be coloring with, I'm even looking down. I don't know what I'm looking down at. If you're going to be coloring with crayon, I try and get them to avoid coloring in the dark areas with their pencil, because it'll get all smeary and dreary in the paper, and that helps them as well. And I'm even coloring darker than I normally would. I also try and get them to avoid drawing the eyelashes with the pencil. Some of them are really good at skipping that step. Some of them are not. Some of them just feel the need to see that finished part with the pencil as well before they go on to coloring. And it's just for the same reason, you don't want all the pencil smears. It can smear as you're starting to color. But, I do let my students do what they feel like they're comfortable doing in their steps and in their learning process. So when they're ready, they give up those steps, and they start comprehending what it is I'm teaching to them and showing to them. So for my students, when we come to do the nose, the easiest way I show them to do a nose is we come down to the bottom, and I tell them about halfway down we're going to give it a tiny little smile. And then I'm going to put my smile in parentheses. And that gives them the start of a nose. We can draw, of course, our lines going up. I think I drew it too far down because I was trying to do that facing you guys. And it's been one of the easiest ways to draw a nose for my students. For some reason, that's been the trick that has worked. And then, of course, I'll draw my mouth. We talk about having 2 lips. We talk about the fact that it is, they're not boy lips, they're not girl lips. I just made my ear way too short. But they are, everybody has the little bump on their lip. It's just some of us may have bigger lips, wider lips, longer lips than others. It's all different in our shapes. So now it's time for the fun part. My hair starts about on my forehead, so I'm going to draw just a light line so the students can, yeah, that looks nothing like me today, but whatever. And now it's time to start exaggerating that hairdo. Give myself a shirt. We don't want to be naked, because they'll forget that sometimes, their shirts. Ready? So let them just have fun with the hair, however they want it to kind of grow out of their head. So I am going to kind of grow my mohawk out and around, and I'm going to do individual hair pieces. Let's see. And I'm going to have them kind of overlap each other in different ways. So it just creates more interest. Almost looks like some kind of swirly ice cream disaster coming out of my head. And I'm just going to kind of continue reaching out back there, because I do wear my hair towards the back a little bit. There's some more. And now as I work on the sides, I can decide if I want them to be similar to the way I wear my mohawk as I exaggerate it. And I'm going to, I think that's how I want to do it. So again, as you kind of work with the children and allow them to decide, it's just whatever is going to fit their hairstyle and how they want to, you know, work with it. But just have fun with it until they are kind of done and they feel like, yeah, I've reached my limit as to what my hair is going to look like on my bad hair day. And then we're going to just start adding color. And like I said, if you don't have a whole lot of colors, you can do a whole lot of color combining. I want to erase my lines, very important. We don't have lines in our faces. I forgot to mention that, and that is something I tell to my kids. So if you drew your guidelines, make sure you erase those. There we go. And then we're able to just kind of color. Right now my hair is blue and pink. It may not be that way in a couple of days. And depending on the order in which I start uploading videos, you might notice a strange transition with hair. I'm sorry. People that are used to me will be like, oh yeah, that looks about right. That's Mrs. Mims. She gets bored at home, and the person you should feel sorry for is my husband. He's had to deal with this for, we've been together 15 years now. So I'm just kind of going in and doing the tips, what they look like now, which is blue. And I'm going to ombre them down. And one thing I did in the other drawing is I kind of did them a little darker where the outline would be. So it would set the hair apart from where I'm coloring and where it lays. And then I'm going to color some of the pink in, which is going to overlap it a little bit. So I'm just kind of starting to do, I look like a female version of Hades. Y'all seen the Hercules, right? And he was in Descendants, the Disney Hades. Ooh, I love him. He was so funny. All right, we love Descendants, don't we? Descendants. She's wearing a Descendants dress right now, walking around. We're just having dress-up days here in this house. She does her homework in her Descendants dress. Whose dress is it that you're wearing? Is it Evie's? Yeah. So there's one this time. So there you go. Just something fun. If your kid wants to do their hair crazy color because they just saw the art teacher do it crazy color, it is totally fine. It's bad hair day. Go for it. Let them do it. Color the face. If you've got room in the background, color it in. Have fun with it. I hope you enjoy it. Celebrate your bad hair day. They're not always something to hide from. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.